A very warm good evening to those who have joined the session. One of you please reply if I am audible enough and if you can hear my voice clearly. Okay, thank you so much for your reply. Thank you everyone for your quick reply. So I hope you all are geared up for your preparation and for the upcoming prelims exam that is going to be conducted on 12th of September. So today we are not going to discuss anything about the syllabus or anything about the questions or anything about the topics. What we are going to discuss is about what are the simple things that needs to be avoided before the day of the exam and during the day of the exam when you are actually giving your prelims exam on 12th of September, that is on Sunday. Okay, so we'll be discussing each and everything in details. I'll take just 1 hour of yours at max. Okay, at max I'll just take 1 hour of yours, and I can assure you one thing. Just even before starting the session, I would like to tell you that I can assure you one thing. If you can follow the things, whatever we will discuss in the next 1 hour, definitely your score will get shooted up or increased by at least minimum of 10 marks in your exam. Okay, so if you don't want to miss those 10 marks, just listen to whatever we discuss in the next 1 hour with a lot of attention and try to follow it up during your examination day and also even before the examination day, that is 11th of September 2021. All right, Bineta sir, how should we approach these 3 days? Yes, definitely I'll come to it. Okay, I'll come to it. These 3 days are going to be very, very important for all of you, and we'll discuss one by one. Okay, we'll start from today and we'll land up on 11th of September, and then on 12th of September also what are the things that needs to be done and that needs to be avoided. We'll discuss in great details. All right. So, and if you have any doubts, okay, if you have any doubts regarding the approach and anything, okay, that needs to be done on 12th, please put your queries in the comment box. I'll take up each and every query of yours and I'll reply to your questions. All right, so let's begin without wasting much more time. So you know that on 12th of September the APSC is conducting its preliminary exam almost after 3 years. Last exam of prelims was conducted on 31st December 2018, and because of the pandemic and everything, there was no exam in the last 2 years, right? So let's now move ahead and discuss about that what are the things that you need to do for the next 2-3 days. Okay, so I hope, because I had already told maximum of you that by now you should have stopped reading anything new topic, okay, that you have not covered in the earlier time period. You should not be touching any new topic by now. Okay, you should definitely have revised it well. Okay, and whatever your score has been in your mock test papers, now just forget your scores. All right, just forget all the scores. It's not important any longer. Okay, it was just for your analysis and nothing else. Okay, I'm not scoring very good marks in mock. In first mock of CSAP I scored 112.5, but in second mock only 72.5. No problem, Dikshita. No problem at all. Okay, if you have scored 112.5, very good. That's a very decent score. 72.5 is actually less, but the standard of the paper was also a bit difficult on the second mock test. Okay, so nothing to worry about. Okay, CSET is not prepared by me, Prithviraj. I'll come to your question, but CSET is only qualifying in nature. You just need to pass the paper with 33% of marks. That is 66.67. Okay, so don't worry. Just prepare the strong points, strong topics, subtopics. Like for example, if you're good at English, okay, just prepare the comprehension part. We are conducting some of the comprehension classes, right? Yesterday also we had conducted one comprehension class, which was conducted live in our YouTube channel. So you can check that class okay, if you want to know about it. And then reasoning will come very easy question. You'll find very easy questions from the reasoning part. Okay, so attempt those questions. And from the quant also, if you're not very comfortable with your maths or the quantitative aptitude, just attempt the easy questions. But in CSAT paper, the selection of the questions will actually be very important for all of you. Okay, you have to select the questions. For example, in one question, if you're taking more than 2 minutes, just skip it and go to the next question. Okay, don't give a lot of time to one particular question if you are not able to find out the answer of that particular question. Okay, so you have to move in to the next question immediately without wasting much time on one particular question for more than 2 minutes in the CSAT paper, that is GS2, during the prelims. All right. Okay, so also there is one confusion going up. Okay, there is one confusion. I want to clear it in front of all of you, that what is the negative mark. Okay, many of the students are confused that the negative mark will be 0.25 marks, okay, or whether it is 0.50. All right, it is not 0.25. What APSC has said is about the fraction. 0.25 means 1/4 of the total marks assigned to each question. Okay, so each question is carrying how many marks? Each question is carrying 2 marks, right? So 2 marks, 1/4 of 2 marks is directly 0.50. Okay, so it is not 0.25 which will be awarded as negative mark for one question. It is 0.50 which will be awarded as the negative mark for each question. Okay, if it is wrong. So do not get confused. 0.50 is also a very huge number of marks. Okay, so it's very important that you work with your accuracy. All right, we'll come to that towards the later part of the lecture. Second thing about the RT-PCR report or the RAT report of COVID-19. Okay, now APSC has clearly notified, it has given in its notification that if you are having the test, the vaccination report, okay, then you don't need to check yourself up. Okay, you don't need to go and do the COVID-19 test. Okay, you don't have to carry the RAT or the RT-PCR report if you have the vaccination report or the certificate with you. So you have to carry it along with you. Okay, but if you have not been given the doses or if you're not vaccinated, then you definitely have to carry the RT-PCR and the RAT report with you, which have to be done within the 72 hours of the examination day. All right, so you have to be very thorough with all these notifications. Okay, because if you are just messing up with these notifications, and if it is something wrong, okay, even if you're allowed to give the test, but the amount of negative impact that will fall in a psychological manner in your mindset before the examination hours will definitely put an impact on your prelims test. Okay, so please be very careful with all these things. Okay, so from today till Saturday afternoon, okay, till 11th afternoon, you are having the time to study. Okay, I want all of you to stop your studies by Saturday, that is 11th of September, 3 p.m. Okay, please do not study after 3 p.m. Okay, it's very important for you to relax just before the examination day. Okay, it's very important for you to relax before the D-Day. Okay, if you're well prepared enough, okay, if you have prepared enough in the last 1 year, last 2 years, believe in your preparation. Okay, believe in your preparation, believe in yourself that you are going to do well. In the last moment, if you start picking up mock test papers or start picking up new things, all right, you'll feel that, or maybe even if you do it this time, okay, for the next 3 days, you'll feel that you have forgotten everything, or you do not know this part or the other part. Okay, so that will unnecessarily create panic in your mental status or in your preparation. So unnecessarily creating a nervousness within yourself is not at all required as of now. Okay, just believe in, even if you have not prepared very well, if you're just prepared for the last 2 months, believe in your preparation of last 2 months. Okay, it's very important to have a self-belief in yourself, and just stay positive, that think that you are definitely going to crack this exam. Okay, so civil service exam is not only depending on your knowledge, it also depends on your presence of mind that you can apply during the examination day. So you have to be very alert. Your mind has to be very alert. It has to stay calm and composed, and you have to give your 100% with a lot of efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, with also a strong accuracy. So all these things are directly related to your mental stability and to your mindset. Okay, and also how calm you are during the examination day. Okay, I have seen a lot of students, okay, not able to crack CSAT just because of nervousness. Okay, otherwise if I allow them to give the same paper in a different time period outside the examination hall, they can easily pass that paper. Okay, but only because of pressure during the examination, those 2 hours, okay, or because of panicness or nervousness, they're not able to crack the CSAT paper even after doing good in the GS1 paper. All right, so please, it's a request to all of you that you try to be very alert and calm. Okay, you have to stay calm during the examination day, and that is why it's important that you relax before the examination day or the night before the examination day, that is 11th of September. All right, so during the next 2-3 days, okay, that is today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday till 3 o'clock, almost you have around 72 hours. Okay, so please try to revise as much as you can. Okay, just revise whatever you have studied or whatever mock test papers you have given. Revise the answer keys, revise the contents. Okay, revise our smart books, revise the CSAP smart books. It's very beautifully drafted. I have got very good feedbacks from all of you. So revise the notes that you have prepared by yourself, or revise the current affairs pointers that you have with you. Okay, or revise the contents that we have given to you in the last 30 days, 45 days of time period in the prelims booster course. Okay, just revise the contents, revise 3 particular topics like in a very beautiful manner. One is polity. Okay, smart book can be revised in just 1 day. Okay, if you have read it obviously beforehand. Then the Assam part has to be revised, okay, thoroughly. All right, the Assam yearbook content or the CSAP smart book content or whatever notes you have prepared by yourself, you have to revise it in a thorough manner. Okay, just try to revise it as much as you can, okay, in the next 3 days. Okay, so no more studying new topics. You don't have to study any new topics as of now. Okay, please be very, very careful with this. So by the time you will reach Saturday afternoon, okay, that is 3 p.m. So you try to arrange everything. Now again, we are coming with 2 options here. Okay, the candidates who are not staying in Guwahati, for example, right now, or any other place, if your center is not the present address where you are staying right now, okay, then what is the best time to travel? I know many of the students have already come back to Guwahati by now, whose center is in Guwahati. Okay, but if you have still not traveled to your center's district, okay, then it is the right time can be Friday night. Okay, or on the day of Friday. Okay, you should travel. Do not wait till the last day, that is Saturday, to travel. Anything can happen. Okay, any disaster can happen or whatever. Okay, because of external, we cannot control the external factors. Okay, so please do not wait till the last day. Okay, so just travel by Friday, or at max you should reach your center's destination or location by Saturday morning. Okay, it's very, very important. All right, and on the day of Saturday, you should make the checklist of everything that you need to carry in the examination hall. Okay, now some of the extra things that you need to carry is the vaccination certificate or the COVID report or the mask or the sanitizer of 60 ml in a transparent bottle. It has been very specifically mentioned in the notifications given by APSC, right? So you have to carry these things. It's very important. And at the same time, some of the extra things that you need to carry in the examination hall is like the admit card or the black ball pens or your ID proof, okay, or even a handkerchief. Okay, these things you should keep it ready. Even your clothes should be ready by Saturday. Okay, what you should be, because the weather is still having a lot of moisture and it is a hot, humid climate right now. Okay, so you should be wearing loose clothes. Okay, it's applicable for both male and female candidates. You should be wearing loose clothes and not tight clothes. Okay, because if you are wearing tight clothes, there will be more pressure, okay, building up within your body, and that can impact on your examination day. You should be wearing light color clothes and loose clothes on your examination day. Is very important. It increases your efficiency. Okay, and other things that you need to carry is, for example, about the one thing that you need to keep in your mind during the examination day is that you should eat less. Okay, many of the students, they eat a lot during the lunch break before the CSAT paper, and they tend to get sleepy or like during the CSAT paper. And also you also need to check out your timetable, your schedule, how you are passing your time these days. Okay, please do not try to sleep in the afternoon time period, because on Sunday you are not going to sleep in the afternoon. Okay, your mind has to work in 100% with 100% efficiency. So these days you should not be sleeping in the afternoon. Okay, you should be practicing CSAT paper in the afternoon time period. Okay, so try to give or try to solve some maths questions in the time period between 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, because that is the time for your CSAT paper, GS paper 2 on 12th. So try to solve at least 5-6 questions daily from today till Saturday afternoon. Okay, so please do not sleep, and from tomorrow onwards try to eat less during your lunch time. Okay, why? I'll tell you, because if you are eating more, you will definitely feel sleepy in the afternoon. So you eat less. Okay, try to carry a lot of fruits with you, okay, to eat in the afternoon time period. But you have to keep a lot of chocolates with you, chocolate candy, or maybe ORS, or maybe some glucose water. Okay, because your sugar level should be kept in the higher end during the examination time period, because that will increase the like your efficiency level. Definitely, if your sugar level is low during the examination time period, your efficiency will be directly having an impact in the negative side. So you have to eat less. Okay, even during the breakfast time. Okay, on the examination day you have to eat less. Do not eat something heavy and go to the examination hall. Okay, and just try to carry some glucose water and some chocolate candies, and you should be having some chocolate candies after interval of half an hour. Try to keep your sugar level high during the examination time period. It will actually help you to solve the paper with 100% efficiency. Okay, so try to follow these instructions that I have told you. Okay, now let us come to one major point, that is when to sleep on 11th. Okay, many of the candidates I see, they try to revise it even during the last moment. Okay, even before the examination day, or even like on the night before the examination day, they are just revising or studying some new things. Okay, it's not required. It's not required, believe me on this. It is not required. Try to have a good sleep. Okay, at least of 8 hours. Okay, on 11th of September you should be sleeping. For example, you should go to bed by 10 o'clock and try to wake up early. Okay, try to wake up early, by at least by 5 or 6 o'clock, because your brain needs some time to start processing with 100% efficiency. Okay, if you're waking up late, then it may not be working with 100% efficiency by the time you reach the examination hall. So you should be waking up early and try to do some exercise on the examination day. Okay, or there is on 12th of September, try to do some exercise at least for half an hour. Go for a jogging, do some yoga, or do some indoor activities. Okay, but at least try to, because it will rejuvenate your body, and immediately it will bring up some energy. Try to have some peanuts or some fresh lemon water. Okay, with some honey on the morning time of the examination day. It will immediately boost up your energy. Okay, so please do not forget this particular things. All right, now if you are sleeping by 10 o'clock, if we just do the calculation in the reverse mode. Okay, so you should be having your dinner at least by 8 to 9 p.m. on 11th of September. Okay, and try to do something good that you like enjoy doing it. Okay, you should feel good before the examination day. No, you should not be going and giving this exam with a lot of tension or pressure or nervousness or panic, or with a feeling of panic. Okay, so please try to wrap up the things, your studies, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. From 3 to 6 you should be working on the checklist on the things that you need to carry. Okay, try to follow these instructions. It will definitely help you. It will bring some peace in your mind even during the examination day. Okay, last moment rush and hush will definitely put a negative impact on your exam paper. Okay, so by 6 o'clock, from 3 to 6, I'm giving you the time period to get all the belongings, all the things that you need to carry. Okay, you need to make it ready by 6 p.m. in the evening. Okay, and from 6 to 10, okay, you have a time, and you should be enjoying this time period. Believe me on this. This is a psychological game. It's about you can consider 12 to be a war. You are going in the battlefield. Okay, so it's not only you have done your preparation, you have equipped yourself in a very well manner by now. Okay, this is not the time to study for civil services exam. Whatever you have done in the form of hard work or smart work, or whatever preparation you have done it in a very brilliant manner till now. Okay, so it's time to believe on your preparation. That self-belief, that self-confidence is very much essential if you want to crack this exam. Okay, if you doubt yourself, if you are preparing till the last moment, thinking that your preparation is half-heart, like you have not completed, see, listen to me on this particular thing, that the preparation for GS will never be completed. All right, it will never be completed. Why? Because the syllabus itself is so huge that it cannot be completed in a particular time period. Okay, even if I give you 1 month time more, then also you will not be able to complete the syllabus even after 1 month ahead. Okay, so you have to stop your preparation, you have to build up that confidence, and from 3 to 6 you prepare all the materials that you need to collect, okay, in a very, very peaceful manner. And then if you would ask me, then what needs to be done from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, from 6 to 8 you can enjoy your time by maybe watching a good movie that you like, okay, or maybe reading a good book, okay, which can bring some positivity. Or maybe you can discuss with some of your friends, but not who are preparing for civil services, okay. Maybe you like talking to someone, maybe your parents, or it can be anyone, okay. You can talk with them for half an hour, you can chat with them for half an hour, okay, to bring some positivity. Or you can think about what are the things that you will be doing after you become an officer, okay. After cracking APSC, when you will join the service, you feel good about it, okay. You feel good that you are going to crack in this attempt, you will become an ACS officer or an APS officer, or you'll be joining the income tax, or you'll be joining the other services like BDO or the DTO, or whatever services you are joining. You try to think and try to brainstorm that how you'll feel good when you'll see your name in the final list, okay, on the day the final result will be declared after the interview. Or when you'll be joining the first day of your service, how you'll feel good about it, okay, how your parents will feel, how you will feel about it, okay, and what are the things that you'll be doing by joining the most dynamic platform in the form of job services, okay, in the civil services sector, and by how you will be having a lot of scope in order to help or a lot of beneficiaries in the out there in the among the vulnerable sections of the society. So you can feel good about thinking like those things, okay, but just for half an hour maybe, and then immediately you start packing everything and then have your dinner, okay, and then you can go to sleep, okay, without thinking anything about the result, okay, or what will happen. Result mean I mean to say that what will happen about the examination day, or what will happen on the with the exam paper, how difficult it will come, whether it will be easy or difficult, or what will be the cutoff, okay. It's of no use thinking these particular topics, okay. It's of no use if you are thinking that what will be the cutoff. The cutoff will be 120 or 110 or 90 or 95 or 105. What will be my score? How I have scored that much in that mock test. I have scored this much in that mock test. Okay, still the confidence is not coming. It's of no use of thinking these particular topics before the examination day. Even during the examination day, you should not be thinking. Please do not commit this mistake. A lot of candidates will be doing it, and they will definitely fail in the prelims. I'm telling you with a lot of experience. All right, so if you are listening to me, I hope you will have trust on whatever I'm telling you. You try to practice this and you can thank me later on, okay. So please do not unnecessarily create a burden in your mind, okay, just before the exam, by thinking on the cutoff, or by thinking about the difficulty level of the examination paper, or whether you will crack the exam or not, okay. Just think positive that you are going to crack it, okay. Whatever the paper is, we don't care, okay. We'll give our best. We'll come to it now. Okay, I'll come to it now. What are the things that needs to be done during the examination day? What are the ways that we have to approach the questions? We'll discuss each and everything in details right now. Okay, I'm coming to it in the last. But before that, I'm just telling you about this these are very minute things. Many of you might think that what I am talking about, you all know these things, right? We all know these things. These are very small and minute things. I understand, but we fail to adopt it. We fail to practice it. We fail to follow it up. Okay, and that is why there's a negative impact on our results, on our performances, on our efficiency, on our effectiveness, on anything that we do in our life. All right, so it's very important to calculate the things well ahead and plan it and execute it out in a very, very positive manner. And this is also one of the difficulty or a problem that we see in our administration and bureaucracy. The plannings, the policies are very good, but in the implementation and execution, we suffer, we fail. Why? Because of this particular things. We try to become overconfident, we try to become over smart, that we know everything. We know that these are the things that needs to be done, but we don't adopt it, we don't follow it up, or we don't execute it up. Okay, so these are some of the mistakes that we need to work upon. So please, if you are if you're listening to this video or to this lecture, please try to adopt it and follow it up. You will see that 10 marks, Okay, 10 marks, there'll be a difference of 10 marks in the positive side in your total marks of your GS1 paper and also of GS2 paper. Okay, so let's now move ahead on 12th of September when you wake up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Okay, one thing that I want to tell you here is that you should be very, very clear about your examination center. Okay, by now you all have received your admit card, you know your centers. Okay, but it should not be like that you have never seen your center. Okay, if you nowadays we have technology, we can search it in the GPS, right? But even if you are not having a very very fair idea about your center, I'd suggest you that the time that I gave you between 3 to 6 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, you should go at that time period and go and check out your center. Okay, so that there is no rush or there is no mistake. Many a times I have also experience of seeing some of my friends and students, okay, like while giving exams in Delhi or some other places, like the GPS went wrong and they went to a different center. Sometimes with the same name, there can be different centers also. Okay, so you never know what can happen just before the examination time period. And just imagine if you reach your examination hall late, okay, there will be a disaster happening and you cannot mitigate it afterwards. So you have to be very, very clear with your center where it is. If you have not seen your center, you should definitely see it once, okay, by Saturday afternoon, or at least try to find it out, okay, from the GPS. And also do calculate the traffic time. If your center is in Guwahati or any other major towns or cities in Assam, you should calculate your traffic time period, and you should reach your examination hall at least 1 hour prior. Okay, 1 hour prior to the time allotted for the first paper, that is 10 o'clock. Okay, so you should be reaching the examination hall center by 8:45. So at least you should be out of your home by 7:30 or whatever the time period is required. Okay, you should calculate it well ahead so that there is no rush in the last moment. Okay, please try to avoid the last moment rush. It definitely puts a negative impact in your performance in the examination time period. All right, so that is very, very important. Just try to check out your examination center just before a day ago. All right, and after that you try to carry some fruits and some chocolates, some glucose water, and just make it ready by 11th of September. Okay, don't keep anything to make it ready on 12th of September. Okay, you have to be very, very clear with your mind that everything is ready by 11th of September by 6 o'clock in the evening. After 6 o'clock, you should not be worrying about any of the particular things that you need to carry. Okay, so that you can have that peace of mind. You need to do these things to have that peace of mind. This peace of mind is very, very important during the examination time period. All right, in order to get those 10 marks right. Okay, because a lot of students commit a lot of silly mistakes. I don't tell them as silly mistakes because those are grave mistakes, because of those small silly mistakes you are not clearing this exam. I'll tell you about my own personal experience. Okay, 2015 UPSC prelims, I still remember. I didn't crack 2015 UPSC prelims. The cutoff was around 106 point something and my score was 104.67 or something like that. I didn't crack the prelims just because of 1.33 marks. Can you imagine that? And just imagine what will be the situation after that if you don't crack the prelims with a small margin of 1.33 marks. And I tell you, 1.33 marks is not even about one single question. It is half a question. Okay, even if you make one question correct, you are getting plus 2.5, because 2 marks is the marks for the question and 0.5 is for the negative marks that was awarded to that particular question because you had made it wrong. Okay, so if you can just play with one question correct, okay, make one question correct, you can get 2.5 marks more. Okay, so even if you, because of silly mistake, even if you commit mistakes in 4 questions, it's about 10 marks. Can you just imagine that? It's not about 8 marks. Also, there'll be 0.5 added, okay, because of the negative marking awarded. 0.5 is the negative marks, right? So it's very, very important that you are not, because the margin, okay, the margin of error is very less in this exam. In 1 marks, there'll be thousands of candidates. 75,000 people are appearing for this exam. Hardly 3,000 will crack for the mains, right? 72,000 people will be eliminated in the first round itself. So this prelim stage is actually about an elimination exam. It is not about It's not about a passing of an exam, because in life, whatever exams we've given till now, whether it is the metric or the HS or the graduation, everybody passed. The maximum percentage of candidates pass in those exams, but in this exam, in this competitive exam, maximum people will fail in the first round itself. So if you want to be a part of those 3,000 members, okay, you have your margin of error is very less. It may be only, maybe because of only 0.5 marks or or maybe because of 1 mark or 2 marks, okay, but after that it's of no use of complaining. So you do not have any scope of making any silly mistakes or making any whatever mistakes you might say it, okay, you do not have that scope of making it wrong. All right, so you have to have a lot of efficiency and effectiveness and efficacy during those 2 hours on 12th of September. And that is why it's very important to follow these instructions right from the day before, in order to have that peace of mind. Everything should be ready. You should be your blood, your sugar levels should be maintained a bit high, okay, but you should not be having like a deficiency of nutrition on that particular day for sure. All right, so these things can be done. Please do not avoid it at any cost. All right, so now let's move ahead with the GS1 paper. Okay, so you have reached your examination hall like at least 1 hour before, okay, and you have packed your food and everything, even for the lunch time, okay, because maybe on that particular Sunday there may not be any hotels or restaurants open up nearby your center. You don't know. All right, it's a Sunday, so it may not be open. So you don't have to waste a lot of time by going around and moving around the examination center in search of food. Okay, so try to carry a lot of cashew nuts, peanuts, okay, and pastas, or maybe like fruits, banana. You should carry apple, or try to carry some mosambi, and this is a season of mosambi, because it gives you a lot of vitamin C. Okay, vitamin C is very important for your efficiency, again, to raise up your efficiency. So try to keep these fruits ready, okay, in 1 or 2 tiffin boxes just a day before itself, okay, not on Sunday morning. Or try, or ask someone else, your family members or your friends or whosoever is there, to ask them to make it ready for you. All right, so that you don't have to waste a lot of time in the last moment preparing these things. Okay, so coming to 10 o'clock, when you enter the examination hall, enter with a very, very cool mind and very, very positive mindset. Okay, it's very important. And try to think positive all the time, okay, that you are going to crack this exam. There should not be any negative thinking. You have done a lot of preparation. I know a lot of you personally. I have seen you prepare hard, okay, in the last 1 year, 2 years of time period. So there's nothing to worry. You'll do good. Okay, you'll get surprised by seeing questions like which you have come across and you never thought that this can also come as a question. You'll get surprised. Okay, so be ready to get surprised in the examination day. All right, so when you are starting with the examination paper, please be very, very clear with the roll numbers and everything that you need to fill up in the OMR sheet. Just make sure that there is no mistake, okay, because unnecessarily, again, you'll be feeling nervous after if you just make a small mistake or whatever it is. All right, so please do not try to make any. Please be very, very alert and attentive while filling up the OMR sheet with your roll numbers and everything, that the details that needs to be given in the OMR sheet, right? So once you are done with everything, you start the paper as soon as the bell goes off, okay? And you start the paper, but initially do not use the OMR sheet. Okay, why? I'll tell you. Because what happens in a few questions, for example, 1 or 2 questions, even if you do not know the answer, sometimes at the back side, some of the other questions may cover those particular topics in an indirect manner. Okay, and by going through those questions, sometimes this has happened a lot of time with many people in almost every year. Okay, and the other questions might indirectly give you the hint for the answer of a particular question. All right, so what I would suggest you to do the entire paper in 3 rounds. Okay, what you need to do, you need to attempt the GS1 paper in 3 rounds. Now, these 3 rounds are very, very important for all of you to understand in a careful manner. Okay, so in the first round, what you need to do is like, you need to go through the entire paper, okay, and you need to tick mark the correct answers of those questions which you are 100% sure. Okay, so there'll be around 40 to 50 or maybe 60 questions also, okay, whose answers, okay, you know with 100% surety. All right, so it's very important for all of you to go through in the first round, and then you overcome you see all the questions, and then you get to see or an understanding of the entire paper, its difficulty level, or even it's whether it is a moderate paper or whether it is a very, very easy paper. All right. So if you see that the paper is very easy, then you can definitely think one point that the cutoff is going to be high. Okay. And there comes about the number of questions that needs to be attempted on that particular paper. All right. So but if the standard of paper is very difficult, then you can directly assume that the cutoff will be definitely in the middle level, for example around 105 or 110. Okay, so you need to at least get net 60 questions positive, okay, in order to score 120 or 115. So that will be a safe side. All right. So in the first round, what you will do, that you will tick mark all the correct answers of the questions that you know with 100% surety. All right. So then you also get a rough idea that how many questions you are able to attempt in the first round. Okay. For example, if it is 45 or if it is 40, for some it can be 40, for some it can be 50, or for some it can be even 60. Okay. Now let us assume that you have attempted 45 questions in the first round that you are 100% sure about. Okay. So then and you have to do a quick like a calculation of how many questions you've attempted. Okay. Or you can even immediately, what you can do, you can fill up the OMR sheet after the first round. Okay. So that needs to be done. Do not wait till the last moment to fill up the OMR, because if you see, okay, if you have to fill up the OMR sheets in a gradual manner, okay, it might take even around 25 minutes or so. Okay. Sometimes if you're slow to pick up and circle the OMR, okay, without making any mistake, because a lot of people even commit mistake while picking up the answers in the OMR sheet. Okay, that should be avoided at all cost. Okay, you should be very, very clear that if the question is of 42, the answer should also go with the 42 only, not in 41 or 43. Many people even commit this kind of mistakes. All right. Or if they have picked up A option from the question, and while putting in the OMR, they sometimes put circle the B option in the OMR sheet. This type of mistakes are being committed, but a lot of people every year, and these are the reasons why many people do not crack this exam, even after preparing a lot of for a lot of time, and after giving a lot of effort. All right. So it's very important, that you circle the OMR sheet with a lot of calmness and like a lot of peace in your mindset. Okay. So try to fill up the OMR sheet after the end of the first round. And if you ask me that what is the maximum time that you should take for the first round, because see, these are the questions which you are 100% sure, so you should not be taking more than 30 seconds or 40 seconds in one single question. Okay. Because the questions that you are 100% sure, you see the question and immediately you can take the answer, right? So this, for example, if I tell you what is the full form of niti in Niti Ayog, okay, or for example, if I tell you when did India got independence, now these are very simple questions, right? Or if I ask you how many districts are there in Assam, okay, these are very simple questions. The answer should be there on the tip of your lips, right? So you should not be taking more than even 10-15 seconds in those. But again, still I'm giving 30 seconds, 40 seconds so for every question, because you should be reading the questions very, very carefully. Okay. Because sometimes you might make a mistake. For example, if the question is asked about the incorrect option, and if you miss the incorrect word, okay, or if you miss the not word, okay, which is present in the question, your all the answers might become wrong. Okay. So it's very, very important to circle the important keywords in the question paper itself, so that you do not miss the important keywords, and so that your answers are not wrong. Okay. So it's very, very important, and that is why you need to be very alert. And okay, or that is why I'm telling you to have a good 8 hours sleep before the examination day, because these are the reasons why a lot of people commit mistakes. Okay. They tend to miss the important keywords. Okay. Because of they are not, because their brain is not working with 100% efficiency during that examination time period. That is why it is very important to follow these instructions. All right. So coming back to the first round, so if you ask me what is the maximum time period that you need to take, it can be around 45 minutes or so. Okay. In the first 45 minutes, your first round should be complete. And by this time period, I also mean that you have completed circling the OMR sheet. All right. And you have also gone through all the 100 questions by now. All right. So after the first round, and in the first round, what you will do, for example, the questions that you know, you will give a tick mark in the question number. Okay. And the questions that you have never heard of in your lifetime, okay, for example, you have no idea about that particular topic, you can give a cross mark in that particular question. Okay. And some of the questions where for example, some of the questions, for example, where you are not very sure about the answer, or maybe you are in a dilemma. All right, maybe you are in a dilemma between two options, you're confused between two options or three options. So in that time period, you need to put a circle in your question mark, okay, so that you can revisit, you can come back to that particular question. All right, so let's now go ahead to the second round. Okay, let's now go ahead to the second round. What you need to do in the second round. Now this is the most important round in your exam. Why? Because the first round will not help you to crack the prelims. It's certain. Okay, why? Because if you attempt around 40 to 50 questions, now no person is having 100% accuracy in the examination. Even within 50 questions where you are 100% sure, even in those 50 questions, there is a high probability that your 5 to 6 questions will be wrong. All right, so that means you are making a correct of around 44 questions, for example. Your score is around 88. Okay, and 6 questions into 12 divided by 4 is 3 marks is your negative. That means your score is coming around 85. So you see that the first round, even if you attempt 50 questions, okay, with 100% like a surety, even after that your score is somewhere around 85. But 85 is not a safe score, definitely. All right, and if you belong to whatever marks I'm talking about, these are all from the general category perspective. If you are having some reservation of SC, ST, OBC, then definitely you can reduce the marks accordingly by 3-4 marks. Okay, but let me discuss everything from the general category perspective. So if you are attempting 50 questions with 100% surety, still your marks is coming around 85 from the first round. So your first round is never going to help you to crack the exam. Okay, and the third round is also not going to help you crack the exam because you have never heard about that particular topic. You don't know about that particular question. You have no idea about that particular things that have been asked in the question. So taking a blind guess is always a dangerous thing to do when there is negative marking in the exam. Okay, so your third round can, but again, we have to know that when to go for the third round and when not to go for the third round. Okay, so let us assume that if we have attempted 50 questions in the first round, okay, and now we need to attempt some more questions from the second round, because from 85 we have to take our score to how many? At least minimum 115, because 115 will be a safe score. I think that is my analysis for this particular attempt. Okay, for this particular attempt in the first attempt as per a new pattern in APSC. Okay, so anything above 115 or 120 plus, okay, safest will be 120 plus, because I don't think the cutoff will go more than 120. But if you are scoring more than 120, you are at a safe zone. All right, to crack the prelims. If you belong to general category, for reserved categories, the marks will be definitely less, the cutoff will be definitely less, and even for females, the cutoff will be definitely less as compared to the male. So whatever score I'm telling, it's for the male and for the general category male candidate. Okay, so it is the highest I'm talking about. So if you, from the first round, if your score is around 85, so you see that you need to score around more 30 to 35 marks, okay, in the net positive. So in order to get 30 to 35 marks more, that means you need to have what? At least 18 questions in the net positive, because 18 into 2 is 36. All right, so you need to score at least more 18 to 20 marks, 18 to 20 questions in the net positive. So you now see that this is the deciding zone for you. The second round is the deciding round for you, all of the candidates. Okay, I'll see all of the candidates, at least 99% of the candidates who will crack this prelims exam conducted on 12th of September, right? So this net positive, now you see, suppose if you're in the first round, if you're able to do around 60 questions, then your number of questions that is required to be solved in the second round will definitely come down. Okay, or if you have scored even more less in the first round, then you need to attempt more number of questions in order to reach 115 or 120 marks. Okay, so that calculation you have to do within the examination time period of those 2 hours. All right, so that is why the first round will give you a rough idea that how many risk or how many questions you have to attempt where you are not very clear or where you are not very sure about the answers. Okay, now comes the actual time, or the major time period, that is from the 46th minute to the 90th minute. Okay, for the next 45 minutes have to given to the second round, okay, which is the most important round, which will determine whether you are cracking the prelims or not. Okay, so let us assume that you have attempted 50 questions in the first round. Okay, then you need to get 20 questions positive net, okay, in the second round. So from 50 you need to at least attempt 85 questions. Okay, so 85, if you ask me that what is the good number of questions that needs to be attempted, okay, or what is a good number, okay, or a decent figure that needs to be, because I'll tell you one logic here, where if you attempt less, your marks will be always less. Okay, for example, if you attempt 60 questions, sorry, and and let us assume that out of 60 questions, your suppose 10 questions are wrong, okay, then your marks will be 100 minus 5, so your marks is coming around 95 if you have attempted 60 questions. Okay, now let us assume that you attempt 90 questions. Okay, in the same paper, if you attempt 90 questions, now see, you have studied, you have some idea, so all the 30 extra questions that you'll attempt will not go wrong. There's a very good chance, there's a very good probability that at least 50% of the questions will be right. Okay, so let us assume that out of next 30 questions, your 50 are right and 50 are wrong. That's also a very good attempt. Okay, 50 right and 50 wrong. Why? I'll tell you, because if you are attempting 30 more questions, if you're attempting 90 questions, okay, with 15 correct and 15 wrong out of the 30 extra questions that you attempted beyond 60, so from those 30 questions, what is the score that is getting added to 95 is about 30 minus, okay, because your 15 is wrong, 50 questions wrong, that means 30 divided by 4, so 7.5 will be in the negative side, and 15 is in the around 30 is in the positive side. So another around 22.5 marks are getting added to your scorecard. Do you imagine that? Okay, because 15 are correct, so you get 30 positive and 7.5 in the negative side. So 95 plus 22.5 is you are landing up somewhere around 117.5 marks. You get it? That is the importance of attempting more. Okay, that is the importance of attempting more. It's very important. I always suggest that you attempt more. Okay, because the less number of questions, because see, if you're attempting 90 questions and 25, even if you are getting 25 wrong, your score is still 117.5, and 25 is a very good number. You have a very good scope to make questions wrong. All right, because out of 90, 25 wrong and your 65 correct, okay, it's a very good ratio, because your score is somewhere landing around 117.5. But if you are attempting only 60, okay, because 10 questions may be wrong, okay, and you are landing up at only 95, so there is a huge dilemma after that. If you are landing on 95 to 105, there will be a dicey thing. It will be at the 50-50. Maybe you might clear or you may not clear. It will all depend on the cutoff, but I don't think the cutoff will be that less. Okay, to be on the safe side, you have to have at least 115 plus. So you should be, and that is what, suppose if you've attempted in the first round 50 to 60 questions, so you know that in the second round, if you have attempted 50 questions, you need to at least attempt 35 questions in the second round. All right, and if you've attempted 60 questions, then maybe you can attempt 25 more. All right, so the more number of questions that you can attempt in the first round, the lesser the number of questions you have to attempt in the second round, and it is a good thing for you, because you have to take less risk in the second round. But if you attempt less in the first round, then you have to take more risk in the second round. Okay, so this is a very, very important thing that you have to do, is in the form of an analysis during the examination time period. Okay, because there is negative mark, because otherwise in the earlier attempts of APSC, there was no concern about negative mark. You had to attempt all the 100 questions, but this time you are not going to attempt all the 100 questions, even if you like, because 100 questions with 100% surety, I think there'll be very less number of students who might have this situation, but majority of the students will never be with 100% sure about all the 100 questions. Okay, so there is a very good scope of even leaving 10 to 15 questions untouched in the GS1 paper, where you are not sure about any of the topics or any of the options given in that particular question. Okay, so please be very, very clear that in the second round is the deciding factor for all of you, and you have to see that how many questions you attempt in the first round and how many questions you have to attempt in the second round. And second round, your elimination round, will be very, very helpful for all of you. Okay, now I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing is that in the second round you have to study the questions with more attention and with more alertness, okay, because there might be the options will definitely give you a hint. Sometimes what happens, okay, I'll tell you one thing. In UPSC 2020, I believe, or 2019, there was one question on I think there was a question for, I forgot the actual question, but let me just give you a similar hint, okay. There was a question on, suppose, on a bank, okay. I think the question was on AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, which has been launched by RCEP, okay, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, okay. Now they had asked the question on AIIB, and the options were such that the first statement, okay, they gave 3 statements, and then the options were there for the question. So the statements were like that the membership of AIIB are only from Asia. Getting it? Because Asia, AIIB means Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So they said that the membership of AIIB can be only from Asia. And the second statement that the question gave was that the total members of AIIB are more than 80. Okay, now you see that both the statements are contradictory. Now that is a basic minimum information that we all will have if you're preparing for civil services. That Asia is not having 80 countries, right? So if the first statement is right, that on the, if it is only that AIB is having the members of only from Asia, then the second statement has to be wrong, because if the members of AIB are only from Asia, then it has to be somewhere around 47, 48 countries are there in Asia. It cannot be 80, right? Or if there are members outside Asia, then the second statement is right and the first statement is wrong. And if you could only utilize this logic, you could easily solve that particular question, because the options that were given were framed in that such manner that if you can find out this particular logic, okay, which was contradicting, this both statements are contradicting, okay, you could easily solve that particular question even if you do not know anything about AIIB. So you see that sometimes some questions are coming in such manner that even if you do not know the particular things or the specific things about that particular topic, but still after going through the options, you can easily solve or reach or come to a conclusion or derive the correct answer. So you should never give up with any of the questions. All right, you should never give up with any of the questions. It is very important to analyze in a very, very good manner. Excuse me. Okay. Let us continue. There's some problem with my voice. Excuse me for a second. Okay. So we were discussing about the grouping. Now here I'll take one question from Anurag, that he's asking for gauging the paper at the start. How much time shall we take? Okay. See, Anurag, I'm not asking any one of you to gauge the paper at the start. Okay. What you need to do is you go through the questions immediately. Okay, and at the end of the first round, you will immediately come to find out that whether the question is, the paper is very difficult or it is easy or it is moderate. Why I'm telling you is because suppose if you can, in the first round, if you can attempt only 20 question or 30 question, then the question has to be very, very difficult. But also it depends that, for example, if a particular candidate is not well prepared, but the question paper might be very easy, okay, if your preparation is very good. Okay, it all depends from individual to individual. It is not like hard and fast, or there is this particular thing that, for example, one particular question that I was discussing about on AIIB, okay, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Okay, some people might know about it, some people may not know about it. Okay, so it does not. Looking at those options or the statements given in that particular question, we can all say that particular question was very easy. Okay, so it all depends from individual to individual. But I will tell you, if you're able to solve at least 45 to 50 questions in the first round, then the difficulty level is not that like it is moderate. Okay, it is moderate, I would say. But if you are able to solve 60 plus in the first round, then the paper is very easy. But if anything less than 40, okay, if anything less than 40 in the first round, then the paper is difficult. Okay, this can be a figure for you which you can take a help in order to gauge the difficulty level of the question paper. Okay, so we were in the second round of solving the GS1 paper, and so you see that after solving the first round, you know how many questions you have to attempt in the second round, how many questions you have to take the risk, and please take the calculated risk. Don't take any blind risk in the second round. Okay, for taking blind risk, it is a third round. All right, so in those questions where you are able to put your logic, put your rationality with a practical mindset, on whatever basic knowledge you have, whatever you have studied, try to bring out those logics and try to come to a correct conclusion and derive your answers. Okay, try to derive it. Okay, but do not fill the OMR immediately. Okay, just wait till the completion of the second round. Okay, so in the next 45 minutes you should give a lot of time. So now you see that in the second round I am giving more than 1 minute in each question. Okay, so you understand this point very well. In the first round we are not even giving 45 seconds to one question. It is not required because we are very clear with the answers. So in the second round, the questions where we have put a circle, we are giving more than one because we have to attempt approximately around 35 questions. But the time slot we are allotting to the second round is around 45 minutes. So we are getting more than 1 minute in each question. So you are getting more time to think on it. And okay, so you have given sufficient amount of time to the questions that you have to think. Okay, so think, derive with a calculated, take a calculated risk and attempt the questions. Okay, and after that, in the next 10 minutes, you should circle the next 30 questions or 35 questions or whatever the figure is in the second round. So once you are done, you have still 15 to 20 minutes left in your paper. Okay, now if you have reached, if now someone might have landed to 85 questions in the second round, or someone might have landed to 90 questions. Okay, or someone might have just landed maybe to 70 questions. Okay, now if you have landed to 90 questions, then your job is done. Just revise the paper. Okay, so if this is the calculation, all right, your job is done. Relax, sit down and relax. Okay, you don't have to attempt more. Okay, from the third round, you can just visit the third round. Okay, you can give some more time, try to think. If you get an answer, if you get a hint, then go and attempt it. Otherwise, do not touch those questions in the third round. But what about those people who will end up only on 70 questions attempting in the second round? Then for you, it is important to attempt at least 10 more questions in the third round because you have left 30 questions. Okay, and out of 70, again, let us assume that 20 questions are wrong and 50 are right. What is your score coming up? Okay, 100 minus 10, your score is only 90. If you're a male candidate, general category, your chance to crack the prelims is very less. So with 70 questions attempting with 20 wrong, 50 right, your chances is definitely very less of cracking the prelims. So you have to attempt in the third round. There is no other way out. You cannot leave 30 questions. Okay, so in the third round, again, you have to attempt at least 15 to 20 questions, whatever you can. Okay, but if someone have landed to 90 questions, your job is done. You just sit and relax. Nothing else is required to be done. Okay, do not take more risk. But if you have landed only on 60 or 70, then it is very, very important that you attempt more questions from the third round. You have to attempt, otherwise you're not cracking the prelims, because I've already given you the ratio and the marks that you can get after the second round. Okay, so this is a particular strategy that if you solve the paper in 3 particular rounds, first, second, third, you yourself will know how many to attempt and how many. And 85 is a very good number to attempt. If you have touched 85 by second round, just sit and relax for next 15-20 minutes, no problem. Okay, but you can definitely keep on checking the 15 questions that you have not attempted. Maybe some new hints will come in your mind, and maybe you can attempt 1 or 2 if you only can directly know the answer, or maybe you'll try to put some more stress on your mind and some things will get clicked and you can attempt 1 or 2 questions more. Okay, you can keep on checking those questions, but if nothing comes in your mind, do not attempt those questions. Okay, do not take a blind risk in the paper. It will be it can be very fatal for you in cracking this exam. Okay, so I have told you, I am repeating it once again, that if you're okay, if it is like, for example, if you have attempted only 60, then you have to attempt for the third round. Okay, now coming to one of the particular question, whether the standard of paper will be like UPSC or APSC. Okay, uh, okay, again, see, Anurag, if you are telling me if the paper is like more of a factual like the APSC old pattern, okay, so it all depends. It all depends. If the question is factual and if you have no clue about it, then it will go to the third round definitely, because you have no clue. Okay, it does not matter whether it is of the UPSC format or whether it is of the old APSC format, where the questions were more factual in nature. Whether on or in UPSC we tend to see more analytical based questions. Okay, so it does not matter actually on the pattern. It all depends on how much you are sure about the question. Okay, how much you are sure about the question, or how much you have to think on a particular question. All right, so it depends on that particular thing. It does not depend on the pattern. Whatever pattern comes in the exam, we don't know. Maybe more and what I think, or what I can predict is like the analytical level of questions will increase this year in APSC as compared to the previous year's attempts of APSC, and the factual questions will remain. Definitely it will be there, but maybe it will reduce down. Okay, and we know about the breakdown because 30-35 questions will come from the Assam part, right? 10, 12 or 15 questions will come from Indian polity. Then mixing up ancient, medieval history, modern history, art and culture, you can expect at least 12 to 15 questions. So you see, Assam part, polity and history, ye teenon ko mila ke, we're clubbing all this together, at least from 60 to 65 questions you can expect. Then you can get questions from Indian world geography, mapping questions, okay, 5 to 6 questions. Economics will get 5 to 6 questions. Environment science will get 5 to 6 questions. Current affairs will be there, 15 around questions, okay. Miscellaneous topics, 5-10 questions will be there. So this can be the breakdown of the questions. So it's very important that you are comfortable with the Assam part, Indian polity and Indian history. These are the three major streams, and जो भी question आएगा, direct question आएगा, okay, इसमें chances of hitting the questions correct is very high, and that is why you should be very strong with all these particular topics, right? So if you can follow this strategy, I know maximum of you are my students who have already heard me, and I have been repeating this strategy from a long time by now, so it should not be a new thing for all of you. Okay, so you should be attempting this entire paper in the 3 rounds, 1, 2, 3, and go ahead with this attempt. You will see that your chances of cracking the exam will definitely increase. Try to reach at least 80 questions minimum. Okay, do not come out of the examination hall without touching 80 questions. But again, let's stop here. If you know, or if even after the third round, if you are able to do only 70 questions, then what? Okay, then what? Even after the third round, if you are able to solve only 70 questions, then what do we do? Okay, shall we go and take some blind risk, or shall we don't take any blind risks? Okay, now it all depends on your surety, that how much confident you are about the answers of those 70 questions. Okay, suppose if you're not very sure, suppose out of 70 you're only sure with 40 and 30 may be wrong, then it will be really very difficult to crack the exam. Okay, that let's accept the truth. But so but in that moment, if you feel that around 25 questions may be wrong or 45 questions may be right, okay, then definitely your score is somewhere in 70s and 80s. There's very little chance that you will crack. So at that moment, you have to play smart. You can be smart. So you know that you are not cracking the prelims this attempt. So what is the matter even if you take some risk? At that moment, you can go and take some blind risk. What if the luck favors us at that particular moment in those 10 minutes of last 10 minutes? If we attempt 10 questions, and what if 8 questions are right? Our score will drastically increase. But that should be done only if you are sure that you're not cracking this prelims. Okay, so I'm telling you, what if you are landing on only 70 questions after third round, and you're not sure about a lot of questions, that there is a high probability that 20 to 25 questions will be wrong. Okay, so it's very important that you can take some blind risk at that particular moment, because anyways you are not cracking the prelims if that is the situation. Okay, Anurag, we cannot say Okay, the sample paper has given the factual questions, definitely. But again, some analytical questions might also come. Yes, more questions will be from factual side, as the classes were taken on the Assam part in the prelims booster class of ours in the YouTube channel. Okay, definitely. For example, the questions like the author of a book, okay, or maybe the establishment year of Assam Sahitya Sabha, or who was the first president of Assam Sahitya Sabha, or for example, who was the first tea planter of Assam, or for example, who was the first Assamese person to fight against the Britishers. Well, now these are factual questions you can expect, and these questions will definitely come. There will be more factual questions from the Assam part, we can admit. Okay, but again, we cannot be 100% sure that there will be no analytical questions from Assam, but there can be analytical questions also from the Assam part. Okay, so you have to go in the examination hall with an open mindset. It's not like that we will only expect factual questions from the Assam part, and then if analytical question comes, then we'll directly get panic on we get nervous. It should not happen. Okay, so we should be having an open mindset, and we should be ready for any kind of questions. So we will think. And also in the last, I would like to tell you for the GS1 paper that consider the questions question wise. Okay, try to tackle, for example, anything that you play. Okay, for example, if you play any sports, you see the successful sportsmen, they are not considering the entire game, they are considering each and every shot. For example, for a cricketer, they will consider each and every ball to give their 100% or give their best. Okay, so suppose if you have not if you're not very confident with the last 10 questions that you attempted, it's not like you'll get dejected or demotivated that you're not cracking the paper. It should not be that thing. On the 11th paper also, your confidence levels should be 100%, your efficiency should be 100%. You should consider the paper question wise. Okay, each and every single question you should be considered and should be given equal amount of effort, focus, with 100% efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, so that is very, very important. Try to consider the questions in an isolated manner. Okay, do not relate a question with the performance that you have done in the last 20 questions. For example, the first 20 questions may be very, very difficult for you. Okay, so it does not matter. 21st question should also get the equal amount of importance and with equal amount of focus and effort that the first question also got. Okay, so please try to consider the questions in an isolated manner. Okay, so coming to an end with the GS paper 1, after you are done, it is very, very important that after you move out of the examination hall, you should not be discussing any of the answers of GS1 during the break time. Please do not do that. And if anyone comes to discuss any of the answers of GS1, just ask him, I'm sorry, brother or friend or whatever it is, I'll discuss this with you. I'll give a lot of time to you, but only after GS2 is over. Okay, please do not make that mistake. Please do not make that mistake of discussing the answers of GS1 in the break time before the GS2 paper. Please do not do that. Try to remain isolated. Okay, and if possible, try to get a power nap for half an hour. That is possible. If you have a car, you will go in a car, or whatever if you do not have a car, you will find a place to sit. First, take out your tiffin. Okay, have something but light, not heavy. Then if you have to revise some formulas, that is possible, that is allowed. Okay, if you want to revise some formulas, revise it just for 15-20 minutes. Try to bow down your head anywhere, you find a place, sleep for 15-20 minutes, get a power nap. Okay, and then go to the examination hall directly and stay there and try to meditate just 5 minutes before the examination time, that is 2 o'clock. Okay, try to close your eyes just 5 minutes, because CSAT paper 2 requires a lot of attention and alertness in your mind, and you are already exhausted after the first paper. Okay, and it will be a hot day. It may be a hot day if it is not raining, because the moisture level is still high in our climate, in our weather. So it will be a hot and humid, let's expect, in that manner. So you have to have a strong amount of efficiency and energy. Still, it should be left out for your second paper. And many of you might have a habit of sleeping in the afternoon. For them, it is more challenging. So do not eat heavy lunch. Just eat light. And just before going in entering the examination hall, try to eat some peanuts and cashew nuts or some fruits, one banana or one apple, okay, and then enter the examination hall with a bottle of glucose and some chocolate candies. That is very important. Okay. Now, when you will attempt the CSAT paper, it is very important to select the questions. Okay. Some questions may be very difficult. Some questions may be very, very easy. So it is very important to find out those easy questions. And that is why you start from the first round. Okay. But if in the first first initial questions, if it is quants, and if you are not very comfortable with quants, then start from the last or start from the middle. It does not matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. Start from anywhere where you are feeling comfortable. Okay, try to attempt as many as 40 questions, more than sufficient. If each question is having 2.5 marks, all right, like UPSC. If there are 100 questions, then you need to solve at least 50 questions. Okay, and if there are 80 questions, you need to solve at least 40 questions. Okay, you should solve at least 50% of the questions. 40 to 45 is a good number if there are 80 questions. And 50 to 55 questions can be a good number if there are 100 questions in a CSAT paper 2. All right. But, and also in CSAT paper 2, in the reasoning or in the quants, you are sure when you get the answer, okay, and you can match it out with the options, one of the given options, you're almost sure that your answer is correct, right? And that is how you proceed. Okay, so selecting the questions is very, very important. In any question, if it is taking more than 2 minutes of time, and if still you are not able to figure out the answer or the answer is not coming out, you just leave that particular question and move ahead with the next question. That is very, very important for all of you to realize this point. Do not give more than 2 minutes of time to, and do not get panic even if a single question is after taking a lot of time. Okay, after taking a lot of time, and if you're not getting the answer, there is no requirement of getting nervous. Okay, you just move ahead to the next question with similar amount of calmness in your mind and similar amount of peacefulness and composure you should be carrying in your mindset. That is very, very important. Do not get panicked. It is unnecessarily, it is not required. You just need 33% of marks to pass. Okay, you can select those questions which will give you 35, 40, 45% of marks. Nothing to worry about. Okay. Anurag is asking, for those non-math students, shall we go more for RC, but then its answers are confusing even in case of UPSC? Yes, I understand, Anurag. That is why I'm telling you. For example, non-math students does not mean you'll not be able to solve a simple fraction question or a simple addition subtraction required question or a simple average finding question. Okay, it is not that difficult. Sometimes some questions will be really very, very easy, even if it is from the maths background. Not being from a maths background does not mean that you'll not be able to solve even the easy questions of maths. You should solve. That is why I'm telling you that you should be very good in selecting the questions by now. Okay, so do not just think that you are not from a maths background, that is why you'll never touch maths. No, don't do that. Okay, and you also have the reasoning questions. Now, logical reasoning or the verbal the aptitude or the non-verbal aptitude, whatever it is coming, those will be easy questions. The code based, okay, the alphabet based, or the blood relation questions, or for example, you can consider about there are some questions on like the family tree. Okay, the family tree questions are coming, or whatever. These questions will be very, very easy in the format. Okay, these are not very difficult questions. You can definitely attempt these questions. The comprehension, the UPSC, I understand it is confusing, but some of the students had given me a few questions and I had given them the answers. See, it's all very important that you are able to relate to the question, paragraph, whatever is being said. Okay, do not try to think what is not. I'll give you one tip for reading comprehension, that whatever is being mentioned in the question, just see the option, whatever directly it is actually trying to relate with. Okay, the other options are actually your common sense. Are you getting it? For example, I am telling you, I'm speaking in this lecture about civil services. Okay, I'm talking about, please listen to this example very, very carefully. Okay, I'm talking about civil services, and suppose I give you a paragraph. And in that paragraph, it is nowhere mentioned that in UPSC, for example, or in APSC, for example, in UPSC for general category candidates, there are 6 attempts. It is nowhere mentioned in the paragraph, for example. Or it is nowhere mentioned in the paragraph that for general category, the last age is 38. It is nowhere mentioned. The thing that is mentioned in the paragraph is that after clearing UPSC and APSC, you can become what? Suppose a civil servant or an IS officer or the deputy commissioner of a district. Okay. Now, in the option, if it is there that while giving UPSC the for general category total number of attempts is 6, that will never be the right answer for that reading comprehension. Why? Because that is your common sense. You are relating to something else which is not there in the paragraph. So to solve reading comprehension, it is very important that you directly relate the option with the things that are mentioned in the paragraph, not something that you know related to that particular topic from your common sense. Okay, that is what it is about a reading comprehension, that you comprehend what is being read, not what is the common sense or not what you relate to something else, which may be true. For example, I'm not saying that 6 attempts is a true, it is true. Okay, for UPSC for general category, but it is not mentioned in the paragraph. All right, so it is not mentioned in the paragraph, so that will not be the right answer. So this is very much essential for you to apply while solving the reading comprehension. And do not worry, I don't think the level of difficulty of the comprehension will be as difficult as UPSC paper. It will be easier as compared to UPSC paper of last 3-4 years. All right, so do not panic, do not worry about these particular topics. It will be easy, and try to solve with a peaceful mind, and try to solve with a lot of alertness and a lot of attention. Okay, CSAT paper will go good, but try to avoid the discussion of the questions or the answers of GS1 during the break time period. All right, so these things that I have talked to you in the last 1 hour is very, very important, and it definitely needs to be followed if you want to crack the prelims in this attempt. All right, and after the CSAT paper 2, do not worry, I'll come live maybe on that particular day, or maybe after 2 days. I'll discuss each and every question with all of you. I'll come live in YouTube and I'll discuss each and every question. And let me tell all of you, after the prelims, just take 2 days break, sufficient. From 15th of September, we are starting offline. Okay, with a free 10 days intensive module for APSC and UPSC, where we will be discussing each and every subject, mainly from mains perspective for the upcoming mains. Okay, I'm giving free days lecture, 10 days lecture for free. Okay, starting from 15th of September, but it will be conducted only in the offline mode as of now from the Barwari Center, that is the head office of CSAP. So that will be a very, very exciting 10 days intensive course. Okay, the advertisement will go live after the prelims, and you can immediately register because there will be limited seats because of COVID protocol. All right, so let me take some of the questions that have been asked in the comment section. But there are times when the assumption of the author is being asked and there I go blank. Okay, Abby, where if it is about the assumption, then also definitely you have to there has to be a direct relation with the options. Okay, the same logic is applicable even to those questions where the assumptions are being asked. Okay, the other assumptions will be your common sense, and you have to select the best, the closest option there. Okay, so that is what you need to follow, Abby. Jasim there. Isha, it's I think 33% like of UPSC, the 67 marks. All right, that will be mentioned in the CSAT paper instructions, so don't worry about it. Merajul, sir, give us some tricks for time management during paper 2, please. I'm not confident for this paper. See, I'm fear about time management. Also, I'm arts background. Merajul, I'm already telling you, do not give more than 2 minutes to one particular question, or in fact more than 1.5 minutes to one particular question. All right, just give 1.5 minutes at max to each question. Don't give, and then you don't require any time management. You will be able to solve at least 40-50 questions. Don't worry about it. All right, so okay, I have already covered these questions. Are we allowed to carry chocolates with us inside the hall? Yes, definitely. Okay, you can carry chocolates. Okay, Nilim, sir, on first class of this prelims booster, you mentioned about questions history 15, polity 20, current affairs 15. Have followed your advice. Yes, Nilim, but obviously that is not the hard and fast like that I can predict, right? There can be plus and minus. Okay, so you can go by this. Okay, let me take one or two questions more. Let me see if there are any questions more. Yes, guessing is not required. Only in the third, I already said guessing will be there. You should do guesswork only when you are sure that you are not cracking this exam, this attempt. Is there any reservation for general EWS category during apply time? I haven't given EWS. Let's not think about it, Merajul, right now. Okay, these things will make it clear after the exam. Okay, just go and give your best as of now. Sanchita, সকলোৰে ভাল হ'ব, আমি ইমান কষ্ট কৰিছো, ভাল ফলাফল পাম. Definitely, Sanchita, that is a positive attitude we all should have. Everyone will do good, okay? And we all will bring laurels to CSAP's name, right? That's a promise that you should make before the exam. Okay, we all have done a lot of work. We all have done a lot of hard work. So we all should do good as a team. Olia, I always make silly mistakes of 4 to 5 questions which are already known to me very well. After the exam is over, I can feel this over known to me. But yes, that is very, very important. That is a thing that needs to be avoided. Okay, silly mistakes has to be definitely avoided. Okay, SST Bright Education, how many times needs to circle OMR sheet? If you circle 80 to 90 questions in one go, you will minimum I'm talking about, you'll need 20 to 25 minutes for sure. Okay, 20 to 25 minutes for sure you will require. Isha, I've already discussed your question. Okay, so let's not go ahead with that. Olia, even if I go to bed at 10 p.m. but I can't sleep, I can't go to sleep after 1 or 2 a.m. How can I get rid of it? Olia, as of now, we will not discuss on this, okay? Because it's of no time to like experiment it out, okay? We can discuss this after the exam, but this from today, okay? Please go to bed at 10. Stop thinking everything, okay? Stop thinking everything. Just go to bed by 10 o'clock. Even if sleep does not come, try to sleep. No problem. Okay. And if you are not getting sleepy, then try to do some exercise before your sleep. Okay. After you are done with your dinner, try to go for a walk for half an hour or 1 hour. Okay. And then go to sleep. You'll definitely get a good night's sleep. All right. So don't worry. And even if sleep is not coming, try to sleep. Don't think that whether sleep will come or not. Don't think. Okay. Just play maybe some meditation Buddhist music. It's available in YouTube in a very light sound, and try to focus on it and you will sleep. Don't worry. SST Bright, yes sir, your voice is absolutely right. I have been demotivated whereas the exam is coming near to me, but now sir, your motivational voice made to think me again to have faith. Yes, that's very important. Okay, SST Bright Education, I don't know your name. This is not your name, but whatever your name is, you have to be having the self-belief in yourself. That's really important. Okay, otherwise it will become really difficult. Hanasri, sir, please tell something for Assam geography. Hanasri, it's like whatever you have read about Assam geography, okay, that is okay. All right, nothing new things that needs to be covered as of now. If you just ask me specifically Assam geography, you have to be thorough with the demography, okay, and you have to be thorough with the population, the literacy, the largest district of Assam, the smallest district of Assam, the district with the largest population density, smallest population density. These things which are there in our notes, also in the Assam yearbook and everywhere, you should be comfortable with these particular things. Okay, Olia has asked, no, sorry. Okay, someone has, deleted. Is watch allowed? Yes, definitely. You can carry an analog watch. Don't carry digital watch. Okay, that may not be allowed. Okay, so I think that's sufficient. I think I have taken everyone's queries. If there is any other query, you can get back to me or to any of the team in CSAP in the WhatsApp. Okay. Rakesh, what should I do, sir? My CSAT score is below 50. Rakesh, practice more. It's really important. 50 less is very, very dangerous situation. Okay, please try to get at least 80 to 80 plus score in CSAT. Okay, please practice more. Okay, Rakesh, I wish you all the best. Sir, just I am vaccination certificate. I don't have RF report. Can I allow? Ali. Ali, I have already said this. Okay, if you have the vaccination certificate, you don't have to carry red and RT-PCR report. Okay, don't worry. All right, so I think I have addressed all the questions. I am not scoring very good. Okay, I have already taken. Okay, all right. So it was lovely interacting with all of you. I wish you all the best. Okay, you all will do good. Okay, do not worry about anything. Anurag, go ahead with your last question. I request all of you to follow these instructions, and I hope you will follow it up. Okay, otherwise just listening to it and not following it up is of no use. I request all of you to follow all the instructions. I hope I have not forgotten anything to mention. Okay, I have discussed everything, what to do before the day, what to carry, what not to carry, how to solve the GS1, how to solve the GS2, what to do during the break time, and what to do before the GS1, that is in the morning time. You have to check the center. Okay, just summarizing all the points, you have to check the center. You have to be very sure about the center. If you have not reached your center's destination by now, you should reach by Saturday morning. You should complete everything by Saturday 3 o'clock. All your studies should be over. 3 to 6 should be your center visit, or your making all the things that you have to carry on the examination day. You have to make things ready. 6 to 10 is your good time. Okay, you should do something that you enjoy. Okay, you should think what you'll do after you become an officer. You should read a book. You should go out maybe for a good dinner, or you can play something if you like playing any sports, or if you enjoy playing any instrument, you should play an instrument, or whatever you, if you like to do some painting, you should do that. Okay, you should practice your hobby on during that particular time, at least for 1 to 2 hours. Have your dinner and then go to sleep. Wake up early morning, do some exercise. Don't miss the physical exercise. Okay, after waking up on the 12th of September, that will boost up your energy. Okay, drink some warm water with honey and lemon, with some nuts. Okay, and then start your day. All right, you will really do good. I have a strong belief in all of you, and I wish, and on behalf of CSCP team, all the very best to all of you. Okay, I expect and I know that many of you will bring results with flying colors, and I will see all of you very soon with an officer rank, joining the services and serving the society. That's all. Thank you so much. Anurag has asked the last question: level of difficulty will be simple, tough, like UPSC. It's very tough. Don't worry, Anurag, forget it. Okay, whatever the level is, just go and give your best. Try to solve as many number of questions you can. I have already told everyone not to think about whether it will be difficult or what will be cut off. Just forget about all of these points. Just go and give your best. That's the thing what you need to do right now. All right, thank you everyone. I wish you again all the best. Do good. Let's meet after the prelims for the mains preparation. Okay, we're also starting our foundation batches from 15th of September. Okay, in Guwahati, both Barwari and Beltola Center. Okay, I'll be taking up the classes. So see you all soon. Give your best. And I know that you all will bring results in the final list of this attempt. All the best. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night. Take care.